Hi, I'm Jordan Ty, that Rucking guy, and this is day 24. We're almost at the end. I keep saying I don't believe it, but here we are. But I thought today I would try to give you all the takes at once, because I've been, going in circles around enough to try and give it to you all in one video. So here we go. Capitalism is dumb because, see, this 30 pounds, I literally just practiced before I walked through the gate. Capitalism is dumb because of infinite growth on a planet with limited resources. By the time we run out of fucking oil and cobalt and shit, it'll be too late, but they don't care. Second, I literally just had them. Second, infinite growth on a planet with limited resources. Demanding consumerism from its citizens but not giving people enough money to consume. It's like they're mad that millennials are killing the fabric softener market, but you refuse to pay people enough money to get fucking fabric softener, right? And thirdly, capitalism claims to be the best economic system to uplift the most people out of poverty, except for the fact that poverty is a necessary function of capitalism. You literally cannot do capitalism without poverty and homelessness. So capitalism will never do anything about poverty or homelessness because you need a robust homeless population in order to convince people to work for $12 an hour. The capitalism is literally destroying the planet, and it won't even save itself from absolute destruction, or any of us for that matter. So if capitalism is too stupid to fucking save itself or even maintain its continuance into the future, then why should we? Okay? Patriarchy is fucking dumb because it oppresses most men. Most men are oppressed by patriarchy because they think they need to fit into one of two molds of what masculinity can be, and what you end up doing is sacrificing who you really are to try and be who you think you're expected to be. And you're just serving the wishes of some fucking old man. Like, old men convince young men to go to war because they can't do it anymore. But it's like that shit ain't got nothing to do with you, and you're sitting here sacrificing yourself for some old man who is petty and fucking dumb. Anyway, you have to sacrifice who you really are in order to be, this masculine patriarch. But then that leaves you empty inside because most men are only loved for what they can do and what they provide instead of who they are as individual people. And that's why we're so jealous of women, because women just get to be whoever the fuck they are and get loved for it. They don't have to be useful. They don't have to provide anything. They just get to exist and be themselves, and people love them, right? But a man, it's like, if you ain't useful, I'm throwing you in the fucking trash. Like, you have to serve some purpose. You have to be useful. But it's like men are the one who came up with that idea that I have to be useful, and if I'm not, then there's no reason for me to be around. It's like, you're a human being. Isn't that enough? And then two, men and women want the same fucking things, just maybe in a different order or at different times, but we all want the same shit. And you know what? To be honest, most women just want someone who plays along. That's it. Just play along, just improv, just yes and. Too many men are like, don't put that fucking pink hat on me, I'm not gay. And it's like, dude, you probably could have got some coochie if you let your guard down instead of trying to be a fucking tough, oh, I'm an alpha male, you can't emasculate me. Just the fact that you're trying to defend yourself from being emasculated is emasculating you. It means you're such a fucking big pussy who cares what every woman thinks, because getting rejected for sex is like the biggest hit to your ego. So every woman better want to sleep with you. And so you don't want to ruin that chance with any woman. So if she were to make you look gay or soft or not a fucking alpha, like, you're gonna have a problem with that. But it's like, the only way to get laid is to open up and be vulnerable and be willing to be silly. You know what I mean? Like, okay, look, men love it when women enter a man's world. When a woman is wearing the jersey, she's watching the game, she's on the couch with you. And you know what's even hotter? When she knows what the fuck is going on. When she's like, oh man, that means they're gonna have to punt now, huh? You're like, Girl, I will marry you. What the fuck? Yes, they do have to punt right now. That is what's happening. You know? And so why don't you think women would like the same shit? Don't you think women would like it if you entered their world for a moment? You know, spent time in it, fucking did your nails together, did a face mask, watched Love Island together, like, and just participate, be involved. But anyway, patriarchy also uplifts and supports capitalism. So capitalism is keeping most men poor, and patriarchy is keeping most men insecure. And literally, you could be a fully fleshed out person, but you have to give up this fucking alpha male fucking bullshit and just be a human being instead of like, oh, I'm a man type shit, you know what I mean? But yeah, our fraudulent relationships with other men are just a vehicle to get coochie, and you wonder why your relationships aren't that deep. It's because all you care about is going out with the boys and trying to get laid. But what about when you're hurting? What about when you're going through it? Who do you talk to? Probably no one, because you bottle shit up, because patriarchy tells you that anger and happiness are the only emotions, or excitement are the only emotions that can be shown, and it limits you as a human being. And so it's like, you're insecure because you don't fit into this mold. You can't connect with women because you're fucking red-pilled in the manosphere. So it's like, you have tentative fake relationships with men, you have no real relationships with women, and you're alone, and you're poor because your labor is being exploited by capitalism. Congratulations, right? And so two systems that literally exploit most men, and here we are supporting the shit. White supremacy doesn't make any sense because white people are literally so fucking mediocre it's not even funny. Also, white supremacy doesn't even serve us that well because we let white supremacy ravage the planet thinking that it was going to benefit us because we're also white. But most of us white people are poor. Most of us white people are on government assistance. And so we feel the negative effects of white supremacy trying to fuck over everyone else because we have things like the Civil Rights Act. So you can't be explicit in your racism. You can't discriminate based on race, but you can discriminate based on class. And what most white people don't realize is that you are in the lower class. Like, even if you're middle class, you're basically lower class. Like, you are on just as thin ice as the rest of us, but you support white supremacy because they're straight white men, and you think that's going to benefit you one day, when literally these three, patriarchy, capitalism, and white supremacy, can only serve a very, very small group of select white men, right? And you and I are not those guys. Boy, I thought that was a fucking rattlesnake Jake. But yeah, so white supremacy is fucking dumb because it doesn't serve us. We're actually also just as poor as fucking everybody else. I know that like plenty of white people are doing better like in the suburbs and overall compared to other races of people, but like I said, you're 1 or 2 bad months away from being fucking homeless. So you are just on as thin ice. Like, you're in a prison, your cell is just a little bit bigger than mine, but that's all right. But yeah, white supremacy is just a charade, dude. Literally, like, we're only here because through like violence and being dirty, disgusting fucks, lying, no good, double crossing, like literally like stop, wait, peace treaty, you can't attack us anymore, okay, now go, and just break treaty after treaty, just fucking lie, invade. Like, we did not get to this position in the world by dealing fairly with the rest of the world. We've literally screwed them over in every conceivable way. And yeah, it's just not good for the planet. And like, white supremacy in the same way that patriarchy makes you insecure and makes you get rid of parts of yourself in order to maintain the very narrow structure of patriarchy and masculinity, white supremacy does the same thing. You have to give up so much of who you are in order to be white, or in order to support white supremacy. Because capitalism says that the less you are, the more you make. The less you go out to the movies, the less you read books, the less you go out to eat, the less you consume, the more you save. And that is the capitalist playbook. And then patriarchy wants you to be fucking stoic and not have any emotions and fucking, straight face everything you go through. And then white supremacy wants you to be fucking boring and cookie cutter and homogenous. So literally, like, you're not allowed to be a person, you're not allowed to be a person, and you're not allowed to be a person. Like, literally all three. Capitalism is keeping you poor so you can't do what you want. Masculinity is keeping you in a prison, disconnecting you from human connection and intimacy, which is what you really want. Men want to be loved for who they are. I don't want to have to prove that I deserve to be loved all the time, And it's like, oh, well, he's got a car and he's got a good job and he can lift heavy, he can move that couch for me, or whatever the fuck. It's like, why? I don't want to be judged like this anymore. But it's like, it's us men who are judging other men like that. I mean, literally constantly, all men are sizing up every other man that they see in public. I'm like, I could take him, he'd probably beat my ass, So it's like, I'm gonna be respectful. I'm not gonna step out of line because this guy could beat my fucking ass. You know what I mean? And that's, so it's like, as a man, you're constantly bottling up your emotions. You're constantly on edge and on alert from perceived threats. It's like, oh, we need men. Who else is going to protect you? It's like, protect you from what? Other men? How about we focus on the other men? How about men focus on other men and trying to make them less toxic or help them grow, instead of just like, no, instead of helping my bros self-discover and release some of this pain and insecurity and fucking bullshit, I'm just going to hang out with women and protect them from these shitty men. It's like, no, I mean, yes, protect women, but like, no, we need to address the real issue. It's like, instead of arming the teachers, why don't we just do something about gun control, or even improve society so that we don't have as many people doing mass unalivings. Wait. But yes, all three systems are limiting you as a human being and as a man, and it's literally the reason you hate yourself. You hate yourself because you feel like you're not productive enough. You feel like you don't make enough money to fuck bitches and get money, and so you feel like a failure, you feel like a loser. And it's just like, dude, that's not your fault. Literally, mathematically, most of us are not going to be the CEO, right? So you are, like, most of us are just going to be workers. I mean, you're going to get a worker's wage, and so you can't afford to go out. But because we run the world as men, we supply men with the images that they see. And what they see is that only men with money are powerful. Only men with money are respected. Only men with money get the girl. And so that's what you strive for. You strive for money and money and money. And you grind and you grind and you grind and you hustle and you hustle and you hustle. So it's like, you work all the time to try and get more money so you can get bitches. But damn, I was trying to put the capitalism and the patriarchy together real quick. Oh, right. So you're working and you're grinding to try and make more money. But also, you shouldn't spend it, because the less you are, the more money you have. And so you work, You don't do shit. You don't go out. You don't spend any of your money. And then I guess you finally, you work 50, 60 fucking hours a week and you finally have some extra bread or something like that. But then you can't even secure a date because you don't know how to talk to women because you're trying to be some fucking alpha male bullshit instead of a human being with a full range of emotions. And also, not so massive of a fucking ego. Like whatever you think you're owed, you're not. If you feel like you have to demand respect, you don't have any. Anybody who's demanding respect, like, doesn't have enough to even be asking for it. And yeah, so you're working your ass off to make more money, and then you're not doing anything because you're trying to save. You can't talk to women because anything feminine is weak and gay, so you can't relate to women. So how are they gonna sleep with you? Like, if you can't make a woman laugh, if you can't make a woman feel seen and understood and appreciated as an individual, how are you gonna sleep with anybody? And the answer is you're not. And the answer is men are lonelier than ever. But here's the thing, it's not up to women to like make us feel better and shit, you know what I mean? Because there are a lot more forms of intimacy than just sex, like a nice hug from the bro. Healing, brother. And it's just like, yeah, dude, you don't have to, like, men are so worried about being perceived as gay. Because if you're perceived as gay, then you're weaker. And if you're weaker, then I have full reign to attack you. Because that's how men operate too. They're like, look, I'm not going to challenge the big dog. No. I'm going to look at the hierarchy, see where I am on the totem pole, and then I can go after whoever's below me on the totem pole. But I can't go someone who's above me. They'll either roast me because they have more social currency in the group, or they'll beat my ass because they're bigger and stronger than me. And so, like, when you think about it like that, it's like, damn, most men are pussies. Like, you only go after who you perceive as less of a man than you. That's the only people that you're willing to be disrespectful to, is somebody who you could beat their ass, and they couldn't beat your ass. And so it's like, you think you're alpha, you think you're tough, but really you just prey on the weak. And that's some pussy ass shit right there. But yeah, capitalism is stupid, patriarchy is stupid, white supremacy is fucking stupid, because they don't even serve the people who they promise that this is serving. Men are suffering, women are suffering, we're all suffering under capitalism, patriarchy, and white supremacy. And hey, guess what? We don't like this shit either. That's the upsetting part, is that straight white men, white people, like, we don't like this, I don't like this, but somehow we won't even, like, you're telling me there's no other economic system we could try? No other options? And because people can't imagine it, but it's like, dude, everything's already here. It's just about how we organize it. It's about how we structure it. It's not like we'd have to tear down the whole fucking world and rebuild it from scratch. Walmart's still gonna be Walmart, just the people will actually be paid a decent fucking wage. And yeah, again, I've said it before, but once you realize that pretty much all human suffering in the fucking world is by choice, and it literally doesn't have to be that way, and the only difference between living in a utopia and living in this hell that we're currently living in is that a bunch of people with slave money might make less money this year. And it's not like they would lose any of their overall money. They just might not make as much money this year. And that's the only thing standing in the way of millions of people, the bottom 60% of Americans, living a decent fucking quality of life. And so once you realize that, once you learn that, it just makes every fucking thing that a straight white man or Republican says sound dumb, dude. I remember I used to like Bar Rescue, like John Tafford. Gordon Ramsay type that would just yell at everybody. But then I saw him on Fox News being like, you know, in the military, they don't feed dogs until nighttime because a hungry dog is an obedient dog. So maybe we should starve out some of these ungrateful employees and then see if they want to work. And it's like, are you a fucking monster, dude? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, look, money is imaginary. So why the fuck are we all so worried about it? Like, literally, we're all sacrificing our freedom, our loved ones, our time, our energy to make billionaires more money. But money is imaginary. And they already have all the imaginary money. Like, we ain't got shit. We barely have any imaginary money. They already have all of it. And somehow, they want more. And so, God damn it, you better clock in 40 hours a week and figure out a way to make them more money. And it's like, I almost wouldn't even mind making you more money if I was fucking taken care of. Because like most Americans do not want to be rich. Most Americans do not want to be millionaires and billionaires and shit like that. You just want to be able to cover your bills and take care of your family and your loved ones, go on vacation once or twice a year, and save for retirement. That's it. Like, I just want to pay my bills, save up for retirement, and then enjoy my hobby or like my little fucking life, whatever I'm into. And that is like 99% of people. Only these fucking psychopaths want billions of dollars because you couldn't even spend it. In 1,000 lifetimes, you couldn't spend all this money. There's not enough shit to buy. And like, what's crazy is that like Saudi Arabian princes and shit, and like, I don't know, what's the word? Anyway, Saudi princes and stuff, they are literally so rich that they have run out of shit to buy and flex on each other with, you know? It's like, well, all the Saudi princes have G5s and G6s and G7s. They also have priceless emerald eggs from, you know, an Egyptian goddess. You know, so they've got to like make up shit to flex on. Like, they got to make up shit to buy. And so it's somebody's duty, like somebody's cashing in on that right now. Just like, how can I make something seem expensive that rich Saudi princes want to flex on each other with? It's like, how about this mysterious orb? I bet you don't have one of these. And it's like, oh no, I don't have a magical orb. Yeah, I'll buy that. And then I go hang around with other Saudi princes and I'm like, yeah, you got a Lamborghini and a G6, but do you have this magical sphere? And it's like, that's the point that we're at. That you literally have to make up shit for these rich people to spend their money on because they have so much money and nothing to fucking do with it or spend it on. And it's like, that money in the hands of other people could be so much more powerful and do so much more good. But you know, us 60% white people don't want things to change. And it's like, maybe you do want things to change, but like literally for the worse. The way that white people want things to change is like, I want to kick out all the Mexicans and the Muslims and the gays and the trans and the blacks, all of them. And it's like, I don't think they think that's gonna make the world a better place. I mean, you saw what happened to construction and food production. Like, there was no one there to work. And so, getting rid of everybody else, like, I don't understand why white people want to get rid of everybody else out of this country when they don't do any of the jobs. Like, white people don't do any of like the real jobs that keep America running. Why would you want to get rid of the people that do? Like, you don't pick fruit. You don't fucking do landscaping and yard maintenance. You don't fucking work in construction. You don't fucking work in every goddamn restaurant there ever was. Like, what the fuck are y'all about to do? I know your pale white asses aren't gonna be out there fucking picking fruit. So what the fuck? And now we just don't have fruit. Now we just don't get to enjoy strawberries anymore because you wanted to fucking deport all the Hispanic people, you know? And so that's how white people want things to change, in the worst ways imaginable. And yeah, it's just like, straight white men don't know how to exist outside of their particular worldview, which like makes sense, most people can't. But like, that's the reason why you're stuck in the position that you are. That's the reason why we are in the position that we are in, because white people don't understand that this is not working for them. They think that one day it will, and it's not, because it's not meant to. Like, capitalism is not misfiring right now. We are not doing some wrong version of capitalism of like, oh no, this isn't capitalism, this is some other stuff. See, if we were just to do like regular capitalism, there would be no issue with that. And it's like, no, this right here is capitalism working exactly as intended. Look, I know I was just saying I appreciate everything you guys do, but shut up! I'm trying to fucking yap here. Somehow they keep getting closer. Like, fuck, man. I hate to be so annoyed, but I was like, damn, I was cooking, brother. I feel like I've talked this entire damn walk. And then that loud ass shit. But again, nobody else is doing that work. White people are not doing that work. They literally cannot. Their hands are not built for that sort of thing. Their hands are built for fucking land negotiation contracts and oh my god. My mic is not fucking good enough for this shit right now. Whatever, man, I fucking said what I had to say. Why am I so emotional now? Why am I angry? Because they were making noise and I know I'm gonna have to cut around it. Who cares? Who gives a shit, man? Like, I'm just tired of being angry all the time. You know? And it's like, but I'm angry because of like expectations, or like, you're disrespecting my fucking video by being loud right now. And it's like, no the fuck they're not. Also, who cares about your video? Like, goddamn guys, look, that's why I'm upset. I've yapped my way all the way up here without really stopping. That's nuts. I guess day 24 is when it finally feels like I can do this shit. But now I've run out of steam. But whatever, that was a pretty good chunk in that whole video. See, but now that I've run out of steam, my back and my knees, like everything's like, oh, we're taking a break? It's like, no, still got a little bit farther to go. But yeah, so hopefully that was most of it. The big three. Because again, this is just rehearsal. rehearsal for the big speech. But, you know, when the system is better at letting people fall through the cracks than it is at uplifting and upholding the citizens of that system, well, that's when you know it's time for a new system. If this is love, I don't want it. Yeah, I don't need it. Yeah, I could live without it. If this is love. If this was love, I wouldn't judge myself. If this is love, I would just be proud that I'm out here 24 days in a row. That I wanted to quit so much. That I wanted to pack it in early every fucking day. And I didn't. I put one foot in front of the other. Got there. And being consistent. And that's something to be proud of. Instead of complaining about what's not working or what's wrong. But I am gonna take a short break and get a drink and then come back. Up, 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 yeah. Alright. See you in a little. So yeah, men, white people, can we finally agree that this shit is not working for us? I mean, literally, they talk about the bottom 60%. You mean the motherfucking majority of people? The bottom 60. What the like, that's a little clever fucking choice of words. But yeah, 60. The majority of people, more than half of Americans. Hell, pretty much half of Americans make $15 or less. Most of them less than 15. 15 ain't even fucking close. At a minimum, you should be making $60 an hour. If you work at the fucking gas station, you should be making $60 an hour. And it's like, well, I'm an EMT, what about me? Hey, fuckface, you should also be making more money. I hate when other working class people are like, those burger flippers don't deserve more money. I do. Hey, fucking asshole, both of you deserve more money, not just you. But yeah, I don't know. Daily reminder, this shit sucks. And we don't have to live like this anymore. Okay, I guess I'll try to explain this at the very end. I feel like in the past we were building up to something, but we didn't know what it was. Like in the 60s, we kind of, in There Will Be Blood, all the workers are like walking around with ropes and wood and pulleys and shit like that. Like that's what it was like. It was very basic. It's a very basic structure, a very basic machine that we were building. And it's like, what is this thing? It's like, it's a transmitter. It'll send a message to the entire world. And we're like, whoa, that's so cool. And then so we started like putting messages out to the world, And in the 60s, it was like peace and love. In the 70s too. The 80s were like, fucking this shit is cool. Let's fucking party. And so we're broadcasting like, yeah, we're fucking partying. Shit's cool. And then in the 90s it's like, okay, this is cool and all, this little machine that gets messages out to the world, but we needed to tell people like, we're really struggling out here, like shit ain't sweet. You know, 90s was like, hey, we got crack, and like we got real shit going on. Like, can we start using this machine to spread that message, you know, and do something about it? And we were all working on this machine, but we didn't know what we were working towards. And then in the year 2000, it's no longer ropes and pulleys and wood. It's sleek, quiet metal, you know, and it's just and it's like, whoa, what is it? And it's like, it's the extractor. It's like, what does it do? It extracts every form of value and resource from every individual and every single thing on the planet as quickly and efficiently as possible. And we're like, oh, that's what we were building? And it's like, yep. And in the year 2000, it turned on. The machine turned on. The machine of capitalism really started fucking cooking. This motherfucker, dude. I guess I'll save it for another video. But the machine, it turned on in 2000, and it's been running autonomously ever since, and we don't know what to do anymore.